activate the pressure points for some common diseases. We have heard about what are the keys, what are the stresses, what are the blockages, but we have to now come to the grassroots level of trying to see how we can treat ourselves. Acupressure is a subject which is quite vast. We conduct regular workshops on this, and the subject matter is so vast that even 7 days residential course from morning 9 to night 10 o'clock is also not sufficient to cover the course. And because of that, we always say that what we are discussing is just that basics of acupressure to create the awareness about it. One more thing, when I am discussing about the workshop, it reminds me, many a times people say we are conducting a training workshop. Do we use the word training workshop? Have you heard of it? In my opinion, we should never say training workshop. We should say awakening workshop. When we go to the circus, what we see the animals, and when you ask the ringmaster says we have trained the animals. Since yesterday we have been discussing human beings are above everybody. And when human beings are above everybody, they do not want training, they need awakening. Let us not convert ourselves into animals by using the word training. Let us say awakening workshop or awakening program, not the training workshops. First and foremost, we need to remember whatever we are trying to see and learn over here, and for that, the point which is important is the point below the nose. This is the point which can be very useful for improving your memory, your concentration. This point can be used by the children as well as for the senior citizens who have memory problem, or to improve the memory also this can be used. Not only that, this particular point is even useful for epilepsy, fits. People who suffer from epilepsy, if they activate this pressure point, at that moment of time, they can recover very fast. Even people, when they faint, many times people meet with an accident, they see blood and they faint. Many times people go to the hospitals to meet various people, and in the process, because of the smell, some accidents, some different type of cases, the various tubes which are there floating around the patient, seeing that, we have seen people faint. Many times people go for blood donation, and while donating the blood, they faint. At all such times, any type of fainting, when you press this point, this can help to recover you immediately out of that effect. Because this point goes and stimulates the brain, which in turn helps to activate the energy for revival and survival. And this is a point which can be used for memory technique also. Balancing is one of the most important thing in our life. To maintain a balance of whatever we are doing. And solar plexus, in different languages if we call Nabi, Dharan, these are the places, the navel area, this center part of our body, this part of our body. This is the most important area in our body. Solar plexus helps in maintaining the heat in our body. And heat in our body is one of the most important thing in our life. What happens when our body is completely cold? When our body is completely cold, we are dead. So what we are working towards in our life is to maintain the heat in our body. And the heat in our body is balanced by solar plexus, and solar plexus is connecting to the major digestive system in our body. Any type of stomach disorders, any type of major stomach problems, irritable bowel syndromes, any type of chronic stomach problem, people who have, we have seen, they may have imbalance of the solar plexus. And solar plexus imbalance can cause chronic diarrhea, indigestion, stomach related problem, asthma, breathing difficulties. These are the few things which can be there because of imbalance of the solar plexus. I request you to check it up by joining both the hands together and find out if the solar plexus is balanced or no. And in case if you feel that solar plexus is not balanced, you can come up on the stage and within 2 minutes we will show how to balance the solar plexus. Yeah, here is a case where the solar plexus is not matching. How do we show it? Can we get the camera to focus on this? So it's not visible very clearly, but people who are here, they can see it. See, now we join these two lines together, bring it together. Over here, see, this is the gap. This is short, this is down. So whichever the side which is short, that we have to correct it. For correcting this, you keep your hand over here, okay? Close your fist and pull it very strong 8 times. Strong. No, it's not good enough, ma. One, as you show it to you, see. Yes. 8 times. Okay, let's see. Now, again we bring it together. Is it matching?
Yeah, matching. Thank you, thank you.
Did you face any of these chronic problems like stomach problem or breathing problem?
Just one operation for 8 years back. That time onwards I am getting this problem. Even though I am having Noni, the motion has gone regularly, but that not matching.
Okay, now it's matching.
Oh, thank you.
So now you know how to match it.
Thank you, Noni, and this program. Thank you for all. Thank you, doctor. Thank you.
We'll take 1 or 2 more cases. Not matching. We bring it over here. The gap is there. Okay. So you also do 8 times. Yes. Okay. Now again we bring it over here, this way. It's matching?
It is matching.
Thank you.
Matching.
Yeah. So what we will do is, we'll not take the time of other people, but when there is a break in between, when there is a
Sir, I don't have this problem basically. I think it's fallen somewhere.
Yeah, when there is a break, that time we'll take up and cure other cases also. No? Our body has got its own energy by which we can heal. And this is what I just wanted to show, how to maintain the balance of solar plexus. And solar plexus balancing is one of the basic thing that if it is maintained, it is the first step towards balancing your energies. What are the effects if the solar plexus is not matching? If the lines don't match, the balancing exercise can bring it, which we have seen. It's very, very simple. It can be done. It should be done for at least 14 days every day morning as soon as you get up. Who are the people who are affected by this? It's people who suffer from gastric problem, vomiting problem, severe acidity. At times in train or in bus you are traveling, you have no control how to control this situation of vomiting. At that moment of time, if the solar plexus balancing has been done, it can help immediately bring situation under control, and this has been proved on thousands and thousands of cases. And this is being shown, the reason being it is being shown is because you are a family who believe in maintaining good health and spread the message for good health. Many times people ask, this acupressure points, when we are doing it, should we do it on the left hand or right hand? Which is the side we should do it first? Here, the natural principle of energy is left is the past, right is the present. So if you have a chronic problem which is more than 2 years old, you start doing the pressure points from the left. But if it's a recent problem, you do the pressure points on the right hand. But in any case, you have to do the pressure points both on left as well as the right. As per the Chinese proverb, they say, any mismatch between the left and the right is the cause of imbalance, and any imbalance is the cause of a disease in our body. So we have to balance it and create the balance between the left and the right, match it and correct it and create the balance in our body. The balancing we have started with, and in the balancing we have seen that whatever the inputs which we are taking, they have to be balanced. We saw whatever the input we take gives the output of energy. And whatever the input we take is very important, and stomach and the solar plexus is the most important area which helps to maintain the heat and generate the energy. Solar plexus and stomach can be treated in a simple word like a fire engine, railway engine, where you put coal engine earlier we used to have, where you fire coal inside for creating the steam and for creating the movement. Likewise, our stomach is also the same way, where we put in the food for generating the heat. Food takes energy before it becomes the source of energy. But fruit is the only food that gives energy without taking energy. And that is the reason when we are not well, we eat fruit. When we are not well, we eat fruit because that gives instant energy. Again, we cannot say that we should be only living on the fruits, because we need to have the balance in our life. The food what we take has to be such that it gives us the energy without taking away our energy for digestion. And that is the reason it is very important on what we eat. It is very important on what we eat and how we eat. What we eat means, today in our food, we find many people taking excess of salt. Any food that comes, they'll first put extra salt on that, and that they will take it. They want to have a lot of pickles. They want to have papad. These are all extra salt and oil. Our normal food is good enough to be digested, but when you add anything extra, that is the first step where you are creating an imbalance. How that imbalance is created is because any extra salt that you take in your food, each molecule of salt that you take extra retains 20 molecules of water in your body, excess. And that is the reason a person who is suffering from high blood pressure, first thing doctor says to cut down on salt, because that much of pressure has to be reduced on the kidney. So excess of salt should be avoided. Many times people say we don't get the taste of the food if we don't have the salt, or we don't have pickle, or we don't have chilies. Fine, you are eating the food for the taste, but that taste is where? On your tongue. And that taste will remain in your tongue for how long? If you like a particular food, can you hold that food in your mouth for 1 hour? No, you are eating the food as it's a process. Whatever the food that you like, or whatever the tasty food that you have, you will not be able to hold on for more than a minute in your mouth. You will chew it and swallow it down. And when it goes down, the taste is not there on your tongue. It is for that 60 seconds that taste is there in your mouth. And that 60 seconds of taste which you are adding by taking more pickle, more salt, more chili, your body energy gets depleted for digesting that food. In other words, let me put it, for the 60 second of pleasure, 60 second of taste, your 6 feet body has to work for 6 hours extra to digest that food. Make your choice. Whether you want to enjoy that 60 seconds and make your body suffer for 6 hours. Think when you eat. Look at the food, what you are eating. Always focus on the food, what you are eating. Second thing is, for digestion of the food, we need the support of enzymes. Whatever the food we eat, for it to be able to digest, to be able to be got converted into energy, the liver has to support it. The liver has to support it by producing the enzyme for digestion of the food. Liver is a chemical factory in our body which produces more than 560 enzymes for digestion of the food, and it is instant. It produces instant. But for producing that, it needs to have the contact with the food. It needs to have the contact with the food. How does that contact happen? When you eat the food, before you start eating the food, focus on your food, what you are eating. And as you are eating, keep focusing on the food. Today we are living in a situation of multitasking. Yes, multitasking is good. But in the process of multitasking, what is happening is, while eating food, the most popular thing that we are doing is watching TV. Second popular thing is, we are talking on mobile phones. Our thought processes are carried away. There are a lot of stressful thinkings which are there going on in our mind while eating food. And all of us sitting over here, say we are working hard, we are doing the extra activity, working for earning money so that we can live a comfortable life and eat a comfortable food. But when the comfortable food is there in front of you, are you really able to enjoy that food and get converted into energy? Please try to focus on the food. And this is not now. This is being taught to us from generations. In olden days, our grandfathers and all, when they used to sit for eating the food, they used to say prayers before eating the food. That means they were doing Annapurna Upasana. Anna is a food. They were praying the food and then eating the food. And in that process, they used to focus on the food. In Brahmin communities, they take little of each of the food which is served. That is, by touch, they are activating the liver. And in that process, the liver gets a message, what is the food that is going to be digested, required to be digested. Why is it that when we go to the restaurant, we find the food to be more tasty? When you go to the restaurant, you are ordering the food knowing what taste you want to get. And from the time you order the food, the saliva generation has started in your mouth to accept and digest that food. It's a different thing that when the bill comes, that is a different saliva, no? So you are activating your energy for digesting and accepting that food for your body. But at home, many times, after eating the food, if somebody calls up and asks you what you have eaten, you have to pause for a moment and think what you have eaten. And if you are, as a human being, as a human intelligent person, if you are not able to respond immediately, how is your liver going to respond to digest the food? Please imbibe this. One of the precious keys for good health is focus on food while you are eating. And eat the food in a quantity which gives you the energy, not take away your energy. Eat the food, select the food which gives you the energy, not take away your energy. It's very important that we respect the food, and in turn, the food what we take will give us the energy. In case, if we are not able to digest the food for various reasons, what does it cause? It causes acid reflux, acidity. Today we find lots of people suffering from acidity. What are the symptoms of acidity? You get the burning sensation in the chest. You get headaches. Because of acidity, you can get headache on the top part of the head and behind. These are the two areas where you can get headache. Acidity is because of the mental stress, and immediately because of that, you start getting neck and shoulder pain. People who are suffering from acidity, they have lack of sleep. Why lack of sleep is? Because the organ responsible for digestion is liver, and liver has got the timings of 1 and 3 a.m. The optimum period of activity for liver is between 1 and 3 a.m. and that is the time the maximum enzymes and digestion process takes place, and that is why they say you have to be sleeping before 11 o'clock so that your vital organs like liver and lungs is between 3 and 5. People who suffer from asthma, who have asthma problem, they will have more problem between 3 and 5. Restlessness feeling will be more between 3 and 5. People who have a liver problem, they have more restless feeling between 1 and 3 in the morning. These are the organs which gets directly affected, and chronically if you start becoming acidity prone, you will start developing anger. Because liver is the seat of anger, and where there is lack of energy for the liver, it creates more anger within you. Just imagine how the food is creating a cycle of change in your lifestyle. You are not able to focus and concentrate on food, whereby you are creating more acid. More acid means affecting the liver. Affecting the liver means it is causing more anger, and when you have more anger, you start getting isolated in the society. You become indifferent. People do not respect you. They treat you indifferently. The effects of this are not only restricted to that, but when you have more of acidity, you have more joint pains in your body. Your sleeping pattern changes. People who suffer from acidity can be more active only after 9 o'clock in the morning. Up to 9 o'clock, they will become more sluggish. They will become short-tempered. And people who have acidity problem can also get into the problem of ulcers, joint pains, back pain, neck pain, and we get a lot of cases where people come for infertility problem. And infertility problem is also because of increased acidity. Now let us see how couples they are wanting to conceive. They are not able to conceive because of high acidity level, and because of the high acidity, the mortality of the sperm reduces, and because of that it does not get generated for conceiving. So these are the far-fetching effects which are there for acidity. Acidity, although the effects are far-fetching, our body has got the energy to cure acidity. Here we are going to show two remedies for curing acidity. One is by way of pressure point. And this pressure point, when we were discussing about the hand chart, we had seen the point is on the first finger on the side of the nail. People who are suffering from acidity, when you press this point, there can be acute pain. Here we are showing only the simplest of the points which can be done, but for each of the problems which are there, depending upon the intensity of the problem, there can be about 10 to 15 points for each of the different type of problems that can be done. But this is the simplest of the point which is being shown over here for controlling acidity, and if it is done for 21 days continuously, it can even help to cure your acidity completely. India is blessed with home remedies, and one of the home remedies for curing acidity is a pinch of raw rice. Raw uncooked rice which is there, if you take a pinch of raw uncooked rice, that is 8 to 10 grains of rice, if you swallow it with water every day morning, this can also help in controlling your acidity. This has to be done early morning before you eat anything. Do it for 21 days, give a break for 7 days. Again you can try it for 21 days, take a break for 7 days. Do it for 3 months, and within 3 months we have got proven results that just rice therapy along with pressure points can cure acidity. What is the largest amount of medicines that are being sold anywhere? What are the different type of health problems for which the medicines are sold? The highest sale of medicine is for high blood pressure, diabetes and acidity. And in case if this is taken on a regular basis, it can cure any type of acidity related problem. And of course, we can also recommend to have noni juice in the morning for curing acidity. Anger is a condition in which the tongue works faster than the mind. And smile is an action which makes everything work faster except the tongue. Make a choice what you want to have. You want to have anger or you want to have smile. If you want to have smile, please control your mind, control your acidity. This is the first step towards it. And smile will get you many more friends. Anger will make you away from your friends. This is to be continued further, but I think we are nearing the time. So we take a break over here and then we take it further into the second session, where we will come to constipation. Constipation, we take it in a little different way. Here, what is constipation? What is the meaning of constipated? Not able to release freely, not able to clear the stomach freely. These are the type of people who withhold things. They, in their thought pattern, they are in the habit of holding back things. They are the type of people who are more reserved, they are not open. And because of that, that energy, that thought pattern gets transferred to their mind and body. They become restrictive in everything. And when they get restrictive in anything and everything, they get restrictive in even discharging from their own system. The excretion process also, they block it. And the root cause of this problem is stomach. Solar plexus balancing, what we have seen, that can help to cure any type of constipation problem. It can also help to release the negativity of a person, and the pressure point that can be done for constipation is very simple point. Although number of points are there, but the most effective point that can be done is the point on the chin. The point on the chin, this point is the most effective point which can be done for getting released from the constipation problem. I don't want people to try it right now because otherwise there will be a big queue outside. This point is so effective that it can start working in 15 minutes, and I don't think we have that much of provision over there. No? So please don't try this. But one thing which I can assure you, that this point is very, very effective. This point is very, very effective for curing any type of constipation related problem. Solar plexus balancing, constipation problem can be cured, and the pressure point what we have shown over here, that can also help in curing constipation problem. Home remedy for constipation and stomach related problem is red pumpkin juice. Pumpkin juice, if it is taken half a glass early morning, that can help cure any stomach related problem, including ulcers. And of late, we find lot of places where we go for conducting the lecture sessions and all, chikungunya. Chikungunya related joint pains can be also cured by red pumpkin juice, and red pumpkin juice is effective in enhancing the energy of the liver, and that is how it helps to balance the energy connected with the stomach. And red pumpkin juice can be useful for any type of chikungunya joint pains also, and also to improve the digestion. There were some questions which were there. Although I have answered that, but if there is a general confusion, I would like to just clear that. It will be benefit for all the people who are here. The pressure points has to be done on both the hands, left as well as right. And when you do the pressure points, each of the points has to be activated 8 times each time you do it, and you have to do it 3 times a day, morning, afternoon and night. Only restriction is that you should not do the pressure point immediately before and after food. You should leave a gap of half an hour. That is the only restriction that is applicable over here. So please follow that. Now let us come to another major problem. What we come across is cold and flu. Whenever there is a sinus or cold problem, the pressure points that can be done is all the tips, all the 4 fingertips of the hands on left and right hand, that will help to control the cold and sinus. But in case of acute cold or acute sinus, the pressure point that has to be done is on the side of the nose. People who have acute sinus problem and the nose remains blocked, they have breathing difficulty. For them also, when we do this pressure point, there is no need for taking any nasal drops. With that pressure point itself, it can get relief and the nose opens up. Sinus gets reduced, and another important pressure point is on the inner side of the eyebrow on the top of the head. So these two are the major points which can help any type of cold and flu. Whenever there is a cold, what is the general tendency? The general tendency is that we have a more craving for having sweet things. We have general craving to have more sweet things, pastries, sweets, chocolates, not only for us but for the children also. The reason being, when we have cold, the bacteria creates that craving, and moment we stop that supplies to them, the recovery can be faster. So in case whenever we have cough and cold, we should try to reduce the intake of sugar and sugar products. That is another way of controlling and getting recovery faster. Nose and throat. We get nose block. Many times children, they have adenoids. Adenoids is a growth in the nose inside, like pimples what we have, like a small boil. Adenoids are there in the nose, and in such cases, we can do the pressure point on the middle 2 fingertips. These are connected directly to the nose, and any type of throat infection, any type of cough, we can do the point on the middle finger on the reverse, as that is being shown. That is the point connecting to the throat. This is applicable to children as well as to the adults. Any type of throat infection can be corrected and cured by pressing these points. Again, 3 times a day, 8 times each time we do it. Headaches. Headache is one of a very common problem being faced by people. There are 4 different type of headaches which we come across. One is headache because of the cold. Second is headache because of migraine. Third is acidity related headache. And fourth is high blood pressure related headache. How do we differentiate between the different type of headaches? Whenever there is a headache related to cold, we will have more pain on the sides over here. That is connected to the headache related to the cold. migraine headache can be one-sided. It can be any one side. Acidity related headache will have more pain on the top as well as behind our head. And for high blood pressure, it will be heaviness felt on top of our eyebrows above the eyes. These are the 4 different type of headaches which can be corrected and cured. For the first 3 categories, for the headache connected to the cold, headache connected to migraine, and for acidity, the master point is the point on the thumb. We will just show that. People who suffer from migraine, migraine is because of the weakness of the liver. And the research what we are doing, it has indicated and shown the children who are born, and at that time if they have jaundice, juvenile jaundice, they are more prone to migraine headaches and their liver can be little bit sluggish. People who suffer from migraine or have problems associated with liver, they should avoid cheese, chocolate, paneer, maida and citrus fruits. These are the things which can cause more stress to the liver and in turn it can trigger migraine headaches. People who suffer from migraine, it's not that they should completely avoid this. They can take in moderate quantities, but they should avoid taking this at night. They should take this before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And the pressure points for curing any type of headache, the master point is point on the thumb. On the side of the thumb, if we press, this can give miraculous relief from any type of headaches, and that relief can be within as short as 5 to 10 minutes. Even migraine related pain can be also got relief by pressing these points. Anybody having headache right now? If anybody is having headache, they can come up, we can immediately help you, no? Since how long you have having headache?
From today morning.
From today morning. Okay, fine. So right now also you are having headache? Fine. We press this 8 times. Again, over here, 8 times. Just 5 people, not more. And if you look at it, the treatment does not take more than 1 or 2 minutes. And that is the time that you need to invest for yourself for curing any type of health problems. Do you feel any change?
Yeah, it's like pressuring.
Can immediately within 10 minutes you will find that your headache is gone. No? You can go back. No? Since how long you are having headache?
2 years.
Last 2 years. Migraine.
One side.
So one thing is that you should avoid cheese, chocolate, paneer, that you should avoid as we have discussed over here, and even do these pressure points. And you have to be careful about your liver. So try to activate the liver energy point also, no?
5 times.
Yeah, 3 times a day, not 5 times.
3 times.
8 times each time you do it, and morning, afternoon, night, no?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Since how long you are having the problem, sir? Today afternoon only, okay.
This side.
Again, we press it. You can just see the treatment is so simple, and you can do it even on your own without anybody's help. The technique is activate the point, apply adequate pressure, and get the relief. Do you feel any change happening?
Thank you. Thank you. Very good.
Do you feel any change?
I have change. I have very good change.
You feel difference?
Yes, definitely.
You can see the difference immediately happening. Okay.
Both side nerves are something this side does it. After always head pain.
Since how long?
1 or 2 suddenly it comes and then
Okay, fine. This is the last case what we take for headache. Because we have so many other important points which we need to take care of. You have to do it this way. No? Okay.
really I get cured. Thank
You find relief?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Noni, thank you.
Thank you. People who suffer from headache, they know how difficult it is to focus and concentrate. But with acupressure, we can instantly get relief for any type of headaches. And this is, if it is practiced for 21 days, it can be a permanent cure. Any type of ears and eyes related problem can be also cured by acupressure. We get a lot of cases where children at times they have ear ache, ear related problem. Many times we get cases where even the adults they have ear related problems, especially people who are traveling by flights and all, they have ear blockages problem, severe ear ache. For that also, as we have seen, the lower two flange of these points can be activated for any type of ear related problems. Eyes, for redness in the eyes. Today a lot of people are working constantly on computer, and because of that there can be eye stress, eye strain, redness in the eyes. All such problems can be corrected by pressing this point which is connecting to the eyes on the lower two flange over here. In case of acute eyes related problem, that can be discussed and worked on a one-to-one basis, which you can always write to us over email and we can reply it. And at the end of the program, the contact details about the website and the email is going to be shown for your reference. No? Thyroid. The lifestyle problems which are there, in that one of the problems which is coming about more and more is thyroid. What are the symptoms of thyroid? The symptoms of thyroid is that any part of the day, during the day, you will find a bloated feeling, heaviness feeling for 2 hours. There can be unexplained weight gain or weight loss. Looking at the person's face, you can find the eyes are not as normal as the eyes of the other people. You will find that eyes as if popping out. And lack of or imbalance of thyroid can lead to lack of calcium in the body, because thyroid balances the calcium in the body. And after the age of 40, as a preventive thing, thyroid point can be done regularly, at least once a day. And people who have fractures or any type of bone deformity, lower calcium, body is capable of curing itself by generating additional calcium by pressing the points for thyroid point, which is at the base of the thumb. The point at the base of the thumb is the point for thyroid, and this point, if it is activated 3 times a day, 8 times each time you do it, this can help to get you relief from thyroid.